You wanna roll? I know. You wanna roll? I know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You wanna roll like
DTFradio.com.
Yeah. We are back. It's the Holla Hour, DTF Radio.
You still sound like shit, bro.
Hey, yo, you know what, though? Yo, but check this
Jesus
out,
Christ.
But check this out. That's on Everything I Love. I promise you might get a text message talking about, yo, what's up with Ralph? His voice. I'm not even going to get into that.
Oh,
but
man.
Anyway, yo, we got our special guest in the building, my man. What? Is you here?
I'm here, man.
You ready?
What's
Nah.
up?
You ready? No, is you ready?
Let's try that again.
What kind of intro
Yo,
was
who's
that?
in the motherfucking building, yo?
Justin Nova.
Hey, finally, we got a little feeling out of that. ¿Qué pasó? Don't be scared. We don't bite. Maybe after hours, but we don't bite.
You got to be ready for us,
Nah,
man.
I'm prepared, man. I'm always prepared.
You know what I'm saying?
I was ready for that energy. I'm waiting on y'all. You sound dead.
Because I'm gonna tell you, because you know why I can sound dead? Because these two spicy Latinas over here.
Yeah, they get it in.
Sometimes I could just put this shit on autopilot
And let them go. That's
Oh,
how you gotta do
man,
sometimes.
here we go. That's how you be treating relationships?
Yo, Justin, I hope you don't do that.
Yeah, I put it on autopilot and let her
Oh,
go.
no.
Do you agree with this, Justin?
Nah,
Is that
man.
something that you agree with, or do you feel like you got to put in work back?
Nah, I'm the aggressor, man. You gotta take work. You gotta take pride in that, man.
Hello,
I'm the aggressor,
Justin.
Definitely.
Hashtag Oh Justin.
Oh, Justin.
Oh Justin.
Once in a while I might choke her.
Oh,
my
no.
God.
You going to jail, bro. I don't want to hear that shit.
Sometimes you gotta put a little.
Sometimes
hand
you
around
need
the
them
throat.
10 fingers around the
Yeah,
neck.
you gotta. Yeah, while you going
Just
there.
don't choke too hard, motherfucker. Like, I don't want to pass out on you. I don't want to feel like my life is about to end.
It's not love until you pass out.
You know what I'm gonna say? It's really,
Hell no.
I'm like,
see?
thinking it's not domestic violence, it's love.
It's love. You
Nah, I don't know
hear
about
this?
that. That's no.
That's what I said. Yeah, well, that's what it sounds like to me, yo.
Oh,
I just funny because he says that he's the aggressor. Usually, I'm the aggressor, so I feel like if you put your hands around my neck, you're not gonna show me you fucking king of the jungle.
I think it's a lot less safe though when
I'm
the
gonna
girl's
fucking,
not
you know,
aggressive,
like that nigga from Lion King. I don't fucking do a scar on your ass and throw your shit
Nah,
off the cliff,
listen.
yo.
Damn.
End of the
Yeah.
day.
Yo, is this really about to become the topic? Like,
Nah,
we
nah,
No,
really
it's
talking
not, yo. We
sex?
talking about Justin and his
talking
music.
Talking about Justin. No, but
Let's just talk about that last song that we just aired, yo.
Yo, what's poppin'?
Yes, let's hear more about that because I know that it released today. So,
Title of the
Give
song
us
for
a little
people who don't
detail.
know.
It's called I Gotta Know, and I threw a little snippet in there called New Love just to kind of have, a different vibe to it because a lot of people were asking about that song. So I kind of threw a different vibe in there just to kind of throw people off a little bit. But the song itself is called I Gotta Know. And it's just something I rather give the people give it a different vibe, a couple of different elements like I was explaining to y'all off the air. Like it's a couple of different vibes in there just to help people, get in their motivation. But I still threw a couple lyrics in there, you know what I'm saying, just to make people, keep them on the edge of their seat. And I released it yesterday just to kind of have people, anticipating today. So it kind of made sense for me to do that. And it's just right now my kind of like my reintroduction, so to speak, to people. I had a name change over the past year, just kind of like scoping people out. A lot of people were asking, what the holdup was as far as me kind of taking a step back. But really, I just sat there analyzing what I saw as far as music goes, my peers and everybody around me. And I figured, you know what, this is the lane that I want to go into. And this is what I can dabble into and not worry about. I'm not staying true to myself or, because I really liked what I was on, but I felt like I could definitely improve in a lot of areas. And still right now. But there's a lot of growth in there. It's definitely a lot of different energy. Like when people hear the new stuff that we got now, that we got plotting on them, it's like, it's a different type of energy in there, and that's all I really wanted to bring,
And changing your name when you're already an established artist, so people already know who you are. Changing your name is a big thing. Like you have to be confident about what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And you didn't. It seems like you didn't. Right? Like you said, you didn't change your name to kind of be someone else. And we was just trying to step. You was just trying to step it up.
I definitely didn't hiccup or nothing like that. Like my manager just threw the idea at me because, as people knew before, it was just incredible. And I felt like a lot of the times we would get caught into the realm of, well, there's a bunch of Just Incredibles out there, and that's not something I really want to be. I don't want to be sitting there and, oh, how do I find you? Or which one are you? So you can really separate, Just Incredible from Justin Nova on the spot. And the name itself has a meaning behind it as well, because it kind of explains like who I am as a person, like, as a star, that, it brightens and it Dims as well. So it has different elements to the name as well. So I definitely, as soon as we sat there and they kind of threw that at me, I was like, we got to go with that. It felt right. As long as it felt right, that's what I wanted to do. So the whole Just Incredible thing, it's still me as a person, because that's what everybody knows me as. So you might catch people still calling me that till now. But as far as legally goes and artistically, it's Justin Nova now.
I like Justin Nova a lot better, but you're right, because Just Incredible, I mean, there's a DJ Just Incredible, there's a whole bunch, and you always want to, it's not enough for you to rhyme the way that you do or have the beats that you know what I mean? You have to, your name says a lot about who you are, and that it sets you apart. And just like you said, for somebody to say, oh, what's Just Incredible are, you don't even want them to fucking, you want them as soon as they say Justin Nova, or you say, yo, just Google me, just Googleame loca on just, you know what I'm saying? And people look up Justin Nova, and you're the first thing that comes up.
Definitely, yep.
He's Googleable, ladies and gentlemen.
I will ask regarding this track now. Honestly, that sample is definitely a culture shock to a lot of people who are not in tune with their culture, the Hispanic side, whether they be Puerto Rican or not. What made you kind of choose that song to create into your new?
I'm a little in tune. Isn't that from the song?
Tell me
the name of the fucking.
I need to know.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, but I was just
No shit, Sherlock.
But I'm just saying that.
It's good. It's good
the
that he
nigga from
knew.
Harlem wanted to make sure.
It's good
Come
that I knew. That
on.
just shows you I'm dipping and
It's good that
dabbing
you
in
knew. Don't let him knock you.
You know what I'm
And I would
saying?
think that's never a sample that I would never ever think to sample a song. Like, I'm so big on loving old and new samples and things from that, but you would never in a million years think
of that.
Right, to sample it and then sample it the way that you did and then flipped it at the end. When Murda let me hear it, I was like, that shit is crazy.
Well, I don't think it was really Justin himself.
Yeah,
but
man,
but what
But
made
I'm
you
talking
actually
about
pick
lyrically
the
the way
song?
Well, I was actually sitting there. I was on a blog actually, and I like randomly running through different stories and stuff like that. So I was on the basketball blog, and somebody had threw up a video just of like somebody that looked like Mark Anthony, and they threw it up, and I was like, oh, I remember he had that song that I used to like, cause I don't know Spanish. I'm Puerto Rican, but I don't know Spanish. So
So you're a New
God,
Yorker.
you're a New
I guess
Yorican.
so. Everybody, you can throw the jokes at me. It's cool. So I heard the name, and I was like, oh, you know what, he kind of does look like him. But then I was like, yo, I remember he had that song that I like, and as soon as I heard it drop, I was like, oh man, we could definitely do something with this. Like, and as far as me being Latin, it was big to me as well, because a lot of people feel like I'm not too in touch with my culture as far as like being Spanish or Latin. I hate when people say Spanish, and representing who I am as a Puerto Rican as well in the game. Because I don't want to be just known. That's why I took a step back from the whole being known as just a Latin rapper, because you got to be able to be multicultural as well, and that's something I'm well rounded. So I try to make sure I stood in there, but I threw a little bit of that into it, and my producer, who's with us over there, Chris Bless.
Yes,
that kid's
shouts
a
out to
beast,
him,
man.
because he definitely freaked it.
Nah, he is, man.
That was crazy.
That dude right there. Like, a lot of times we stay up to 4 or 5, and we don't do this over the phone through email or nothing like that. Like, it has to be organic. So me and him, we done stood up 3, 4 in the morning arguing, all types of stuff, like just getting out like the best type of like energy we could put into the song. And when I tell you, like, this kid, he displays so many different crafts, it's disgusting. Like,
it's always a good thing though.
Yep.
It's like it depends on where it's going.
Let's do my evil
if
tear turn.
if I feel like it's, what I'm saying, like sometimes it's weird, but like when he tells me something, like, oh, you should sample this. Sometimes I say, well, why, or what's going on? But in the end, it's always like a good thing.
So what's your cultural background?
Well, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Okay.
So
Wepa.
I knew exactly where he wanted to go with it. I just felt like when I first played it, I was like, that sounds a little corny. I tried to do it myself with my program. I tried to do it myself. It didn't work out. So I was just like, I'm going to just try it. I tried it. I put it together. I put the drums on it, and I liked it. At the end, I liked it. I didn't think that he would like it that much, but when I sent it to him, he was like, "Yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm gonna have to take this."
How long did it take you to put it together?
I would say around 45, 50 minutes, something like that, an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
Now,
I can attest to that.
How long you been producing for?
Taking it seriously, I would say 7 years.
Okay, I see now. Because
Do you-
if it would have been up to me, I would have been there for like 3 days.
How
I did it. Yeah.
how
but,
long have you all known
3
each other?
weeks.
And how long have you all known each other and been working together? And do y'all have that type of relationship that you force each other to step their game up? You see how you say you guys may argue or you stay up to 3 a.m. I mean, is that does that in the end wind up being something productive? You know what I mean? That you can use
very-
later
it
on.
It
And
helps.
Very, very productive, I say. As far as us knowing each other, about 2 years. He used to listen to the stuff that we used to make with Heart of Brooklyn. Big shouts to them, by the way, to everybody in the crew. Basically he was like a real big supporter of us. And I never knew he made beats. I would just randomly see his name sometimes come up and he'll show support and show love. But then one day, because I happened to follow him, so one day I saw him just playing around on Instagram, just making beats, touching the MPC. So I'm like, yo, that's you right there? Because I heard a crazy ass beat. I'm like, is that you? He was like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, yo, that's dope. He was like, yo, you think so? And I'm like, yeah, it's dope. Like, you asking me a stupid question? Like, yeah, it's dope. So I was like, so I kind of to test him, I kind of like nudged him a little bit. I was like, send me some more. So he sent me like 3 beats and they were all dope. But to kind of mess with him a little bit, I told him, send me some more. Like, I didn't enjoy what I first heard.
Right.
So he kind of was like, he kind of reached into the bag, sent me some
I
other
was
stuff.
funny about it at first. I was like, I'm
like-
not gonna send you 15 beats and you just gonna be like, yo, that's dope. Like, it's either you gonna fuck with it or you
Or
not.
not, right?
you fucking
So
with him.
after a while, like, I sent him one and he told me, yo, I'm writing to it. I thought he was bullshitting. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then like 2 days later, he sent me a song. He was like, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And that was like the first person that actually dived in, like, I'm gonna make the song. And after that, it's just been crazy. Like, we built that.
And how long have you guys been working together?
About I would say about 2 years. We knew
About
each other.
2 years. Same
Like,
2
as
years
soon
we
as
met,
we
yeah.
as soon as we kind of linked up and I saw like what he was doing, it was more like it wasn't like just business and just chopping like you sent me beats. It was more like he sent me beats. I told him like, yo, listen, like I want to work on this or whatever, but like let me know what you need from me as far as like you need me to send you the songs and stuff like that. So I was kind of trying to fill it out and figure it out. Like, oh, you know what? Well, this is how he works. I'm cool with that. And then it became more like, well, we will always work the same way because I'm not big on the whole email thing. Like, I don't ask no producers for no handouts or tell them like, yo, can you send me that? And I like to work in person. I'm real big on that because I feel like that's what a lot of people lost. That's why you hear a lot of songs that don't really make sense because like they don't really sit there and work together.
The
It's more
chemistry
like,
is not
it's
there in a lot of
and
songs.
honestly, like I'm big on that. So I told him, I was like, listen, like however we gotta work, I'll make it work and I'll figure it out. But I was sitting there like, yo, listen, you got some of the like the dopest stuff that I've heard in a while, and I'm big on taking risks. Like I love taking risks from people. Like I know that there's a lot of dope stuff out there that all of us, we all avid music listeners. There's a lot of stuff that we haven't discovered and figured out, and sometimes I like to be the one that found it first and be like, yo, like nobody took a risk on that, and I feel like he was just waiting for somebody to take that risk for him and say like he's dope. And his first stuff was raw, but you see it. Like his first couple things, it's raw, but you can still see it. It's like, yo, this is dope. This is cool. I like it. I could vibe with this. So my first thing to do was I was like, just so he could see that I'm actually working on stuff, I recorded it right away and I sent it to him. And he was like, this is crazy. Like, and we both basically, long story short, he enjoyed my songs on his stuff a lot more than I would have even figured he did because I figured he's a producer. He's probably used to a million people making beats on his stuff, and vice versa. So we both were like, okay, I can see where you're going with this. Like sometimes he'll hit me, like he just said before, oh, I didn't think he was gonna enjoy it that much. And me, on the other end of the spectrum, I'm flipping out. Like I'm leaving the gym, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like what are you doing right now type of stuff. Like it was dope. And like I said, he brings that different energy as far as to my music. Like he's a heavy influence, like when it comes down to it, because like right now, I stood there for a little while just trying to figure out what that lane was. Because I'm always big on that. Like, why pick up a mic if you don't have no lane or no area to really dive into? You know how people say, like, why do you do this or what do you do it for? And sometimes you look at people and you're trying to figure out, like, what's their reasoning behind being in music and actually trying to make a statement. And he was a big part about me finding out, like, this is the lane I want to dive into. Like, I wanted to stay balanced on both ends. I don't want to be boring, and I also don't want to sound like I'm having way too much fun that I'm not really focusing on what I want to do. So he kind of like set that boundary.
There was
for me
always
that I could
something
sit
there,
and
though.
dive.
There was always something there. Like, I was half of the time that I was making beats, I lived in DR. I lived in DR for 5 years, And I was literally making beats on the farm. Like, I was living on the farm making beats. That's
Crazy.
all I had. I didn't have nothing else. I didn't have no TV. I didn't have friends.
You ain't
Like,
got
I
no
didn't know
fresh
nobody.
cooked breakfest, my nigga?
We had
He's
Plátano con
lying.
salami, yo.
Hell yeah, I would have been like your grandma.
occupation. You know what I'm saying?
Plátano con salami, nigga. Come on.
We had
Milking the
we had
cows
the
and
food.
getting the salchichon
We
from
had
the
the food.
pig.
We had the food. But, you know, occupation-wise, like, that was all I would do. So I saw him, and he was in a group at that time, so I didn't really know how that worked. Like, I didn't know who to send the beats to, so I was just like, I'm going to just wait for my time and see when exactly he will come to me himself.
As artists, do y'all? I mean, you as a producer and you as a music artist, you've been working together for 2 years. Have you been able to see the change? You know what I mean, like the growth in each
growth is
other,
ridiculous.
right?
Yeah.
In the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, as far as like seeing the growth, I think I've matured a lot as far as musically, and by that I mean by not trying to be too grown sometimes. Sometimes you want to dive into that area where you're trying to like overthink things, and you're trying to go over people's heads, and sometimes you got to learn where you got to be simple and where you got to really get intricate on it.
Like the
And
way you petty and childish on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I,
No, I'm
I
just
know.
kidding.
I know a lot of y'all bothered by that. You know, it's all love. For
Yeah.
Me. I think Mavin was giving me a lot of different headaches on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I would have definitely, if it wasn't for this interview right now, I would have definitely kicked them in. and yeah, I mean,
the pettiest
thrown them
one.
in the
Y'all
river.
be having Twitter beef?
Oh yeah, we got
all day.
It pops off?
Oh, it'd be so bad.
She's-
Bird is the
she- no,
pettiest
she-
one, yo.
She's a
Number
text
one
dog.
petty.
She's a text dog on Twitter. You know, she a keyboard killer. Like
Oh.
she can type.
Keyboard
Look, now
killer.
we talking that
You said she
shit.
a telephone tough guy. Back in the day, she a
that's
telephone
right.
tough guy.
Yo, I,
Trigger fingers turn
Keyboard
to Twitter
warriors.
fingers?
Yeah, that's her.
man, we created
Drake
that.
when
I
Drake
think that
said-
was
warriors,
before
yo.
that
That
nigga
was
was
her.
talking about that shit.
And we go back on Twitter though for a while.
Oh, wow,
For a
long
while.
time.
Like I used to correct people and mess with people just to bother them a little bit.
He
Like
mad
if they made a spelling
annoying.
error,
Correct
I would
everybody.
bother them.
Oh
Okay,
my
I
God,
still
I
do it
love
sometimes.
So annoying.
Sometimes I
All
do
day.
it.
I
Yo,
love
I'm
you.
gonna let you know right
No
now.
apostrophe, that nigga starts freaking out.
If you do,
text him, it's
Like,
same
like
thing.
what the
Text him too.
fuck, bro?
if you do it to me, I'm just gonna be like, you're not an English teacher, but anyway.
Yo,
Like,
you know,
yo,
people
that's
say that.
number
People say
one.
that's
I
the
feel like that's the number
response.
one comeback. Like, yo, my nigga, like this is not English class. You wildin'.
Yeah, like I
Only, you know what? That's only something stupid people say. That's only something people.
No,
Hey,
I wanted
hey,
to
hey,
say
that was
but
my
not
response
everybody,
before.
not everybody that says that is stupid though.
Yeah.
right.
Come on, be with
comes-
me. You're on this side. Be with me.
Yo, you're so funny.
You can't do shit,
Hey,
man.
Be with
listen.
the people you're with, Justin.
I don't care what you say, Miss Madam. Floyd Mayweather can't read and got mad money.
Yeah, you know what?
He's still stupid though.
Yo,
He could be stupid. He's stupid with money.
He knocking people out stupid. Too.
Yeah, no.
You know what? Let me
He's
shut
getting
up
them
before Floyd. Let me shut
So-
up before Money Making Floyd come see me.
let me ask you a question though. Now to endure the chemistry between your vocals and any song, you know, and the production that gets put out, what do you do in order to get in tune with the beeps, the vibes? Like, you know, are you in the studio? Do you like to do it at home? Do you like to?
Real big, real. Not to cut you off, by the way. I had to get the story off my head. I'm real big on writing at like 5 in the morning. I barely sleep, so I'm real big. Like I like to do it organically as well. So I'll be listening to music, just natural music, and I have it on shuffle on purpose, so that sometimes I come across his beats or whatever. And I'll come across sometimes random instrumentals that I already had for a while, and I'll write, and that's where I get most of my writing. As far as in the studio goes, I work good under pressure. So let's say if I didn't write to nothing at that time, and I just had a session already booked, I'll go there with the intent to write.
Are you
to
saying
beat.
you a freezestyler?
Nah, definitely not. One thing I don't do is
You
I
was about
like to put effort
You
into
was about
it.
to make me put you on the spot.
Which I can, by the way. I'm pretty
Oh,
good.
Do it. That's it. It's over. Do it. Do it.
As far as I'm concerned, as far as
Real.
writing,
Drop a beat.
big writing. I'm big on writing. So what I do is to make sure I'm saying and getting across the proper message and what I want to get across, I always sit there and I write. And I write. It takes me like 5-10 minutes, and I write quick, but not like on something I'm trying to speed through it.
Yeah.
It's just how my mind works. It's rapid ideas going fast. Sometimes I got too much things going in my mind. So
Did you ever write being younger? Like,
yeah,
when
that's
did
how
you
I
start
started.
writing? How did you start writing?
Started
you were
as a
into poetry?
poet or
yeah, I wrote a poem on September 11th. And I was in 6th grade, and me and my friend, Khalil, big shouts to him. His father is in the Lost Boys. I know y'all know the song Renee.
of course.
May he rest in peace, by the way. Me and
Freaky
him,
tie.
yeah, may he rest in peace. So me and him used to sit there and write, because how I met him was through school. So I already knew his father was a rapper or whatever, but I really didn't touch too much on that subject because it's definitely a touchy subject for him. So as far as that goes, I would just be sitting there writing with him, but it started really with poetry. So I wrote a poem about September 11th, Miss Singh, I never forget her. That was my teacher. And I wrote a poem, and she was like amazed by it because she had lost a family member September 11th, so she was crying and stuff. And I was like, this is the effect you have on people, like through words. So it started from there, and then from that, it just led into, like we'll write on beats, like we'll be listening to like 50 and stuff like that, you know, and we'll be sitting there dabbling into writing and trying to get our flows off and messing up and writing whack stuff. And we used to record on like little tape decks, and we used to play it for his mom, and his mom was real big on cursing, so we'll be cursing and we'll be hiding behind couches and stuff like that. Like big shouts to her too, because she played a big part in this, because she was supportive. Like I don't think my mom, before she ever heard me on like any songs, I don't think she would have ever been supportive of it. Like his mom was like there doing the groundwork with us. Like that's whack, that's not good. And that's kind of like, what I tell people now is like, you might not enjoy whatever comes out of the camp, but you can never say it's corny. Because like you might not enjoy it, it's not your vibe, and that's okay. But one thing she was real big on was making sure that you wasn't saying nothing corny, and she was making sure you wasn't cursing either. Obviously, when you get older at the time, you like that shit goes out the window. Yeah, that goes out the window.
You're an adult now.
You
You start evolving.
Yeah, but when we was younger, that was the setup, and yeah, but like you said, as far as writing goes, and vocally, I like to do it at home, and I'll test it out. And I'll test it out. I get a feel for it, and then I'm like, this is the one. Or I'll be like, nah, that's whack. Like I don't like the way this feels on this, and I'll go from there. And then when I get to the studio, I'm the same way. I like to work rapidly. Like my manager, big shouts to Mike, he's over here too. My manager, my manager is real big on working rapid. So I'll play the songs or whatever, and I get that feeling, and I'll go, and then we'll go to the next one. Like because he got me into a different way of recording. Before I used to record, I spent my whole time on working on this one song, making it perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so I like to make sure that you heard that little breath right there. Like, nah, I can't do that. Let's redo it over.
Oh my God.
But I'm big like that because you guys catch that stuff. You guys will catch it.
Definitely.
You don't even realize it sometimes, but you'll catch it.
When you're an artist, you're always a perfectionist. I think
you gotta
anyway.
understand it.
You gotta
because you know what you're trying to get across. You know what I mean? And you're like, nope, that one breath is gonna ruin the entire. Right.
It's annoying, but you gotta understand it.
So let us know exactly like where everybody can reach you at if they don't already know you, like where they can hear your next projects and stuff coming up.
Right.
As far as like my next projects, I definitely wanted to announce that too. Early March, I'm gonna be releasing an EP called Out There. I've been hitting at it, just saying out there, like here and there, just to kind of like sneak it in a little bit. But early March, probably in the teens, I would say anywhere between the 10th and the 20th. I'm gonna release an EP called Out There. It's gonna be a 7-song EP. And as far as like reaching me, Twitter is Just, Instagram is the same thing. And my SoundCloud is Justin Nova. And you could pretty much reach me there. Whatever. I'm pretty much always on Twitter. I'm not real big on Instagram because it's just pictures and stuff like that.
EP party release or
Right.
what's going on?
Any performances coming up soon?
We're setting that up. As far as the performances, not yet, because I kind of want to let the EP kind of like flourish and get it out there. But as far as the EP release, we definitely having something there. We're kind of setting that up now, making sure like all the stuff is right. Because where I want to put it at, it's a nice little like, it's a real introspective spot, and I want to make sure that everybody's there, kind of can get a feeling. It's not really a big space whereas we got to fit 100, 200 people in there, whatever. I want to make it to whereas everybody's together,
more
and
intimate.
I can be right there. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm more into that. So I definitely like the intimate setting versus the big places whereas you got to pack 100 people when it's real airy. I don't want to do that. So I definitely want to get a listening party though for sure. And
Well, we better be invited, and I'll tell you one thing: there better be some fucking food there.
I
I don't care how close niggas is to me. There better be some food there.
I'll be hungry as hell. So
just
that's
got one question.
I like that.
Who, if you could name one artist right now, guy, girl, whoever, that you could do a track with,
Dead or
right
alive?
now? No, not dead. Alive.
Alive.
alive. That's tough.
Right now. One track right now.
I hope you don't say J. Cole because you sound and look kind of a little like him.
Nah,
like him.
What you trying to say? All the waffle colored Negroes look alike?
All the
No.
waffle? Did you just say
All
all
I'm
the
just
waffle?
saying-
You are
Waffle
fucking
colored nigga.
you are fucking self-hating
just saying.
racist.
I'm just saying That's what it felt like she was saying.
I kind of
No.
feel like you saying that too.
I was
Yeah.
not saying that.
That
What
might
I
be
was
what that
trying
means.
to say was just like you kind of look a little like the nigga. Like you could be a step cousin from another family and
I was
shit.
going to say he got a little.
And-
I mean, a little like he could be Drake cousin too.
Oh my God! Everybody light skin looking like now? Is that what you
That's
Yeah,
what
nah,
she
that
said.
no. That's what he just said. You see that
Reverse
shit?
racism.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's
but
what she was
I
going
got a
on.
cousin that you do look like, but y'all both light skinned Negroes. I'm just saying.
Y'all both light skinned Negroes.
As far as an artist, I would like to make a song with.
Yeah, one artist right now. You
Don't say
do it.
me.
One-
All right, I know I'm a
Can
good
I
artist.
say two? Because
Yeah, let's hear it, let's hear it.
Okay.
I would say it would be Usher if it was a track that I would be making like as far
You
as like a
got it,
singer.
you got it bad.
And if it was a rapper, it would be the best rapper of all time, which is JayZ.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my guy. Now he's my.
What's your favorite JayZ album?
Best one, I think. Well, my favorite, I would say, is probably the Black Album. But
Such a good-
I
was a
think
good
the
album.
one that's the most versatile is the Blueprint.
Okay.
But hold on, can I when he said that Black Album, and immediately because I'm a J guy, the allure of breaking the law.
So
Woo!
for me to have it.
That
you know,
song right
that's-
there, I don't care what anybody do in life. You have to listen to that song and hear what he's saying in that song. But you got to be by yourself.
Yeah,
You can't have no distraction.
I think a
'Cause
lot of
that
JayZ
song-
albums, especially like the Blueprint, like you really got to sit down and kind of like sit down, listen to it, manifest it, and kind of realize that it has a lot to do with the environment around you, especially if you're from New York. Yeah. But you know what it is? The young-minded really, they listen to JayZ from back in the day because everybody else be like, yo, JayZ is popping.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't really understand the type of in between the lines that JayZ speaks about, and that's the thing, that it's just like, yo, old head said JayZ good. Like the same way during your era when you know he was doing gibberish and everybody's like, yo, that shit is popping. That nigga, I'm coming out with that shit. That shit is
That's what they
popping.
thought. I think, and it's funny too.
You heard
'cause
how she sneaked in and
yeah,
called you
people-
old, right?
yeah,
You saw how she
yeah,
sneaked
you
in.
see?
She was like back in that era.
People might laugh
heard
at me,
that.
but I think one of my favorite one of my favorite JayZ songs is Hollywood. With him and Beyonce.
That's a great
That is
song.
that is one of the best songs because he talks about, I mean, first of all, that is one of the few songs that JayZ's quick, super quick with it. That's not his general right. You know what I'm saying? That's not his general rhyming style. But that song is just crazy. Like even everything that he talks about, that he loves fame so much. Fame is like a drug. You know what I mean? It is crazy.
though.
One of the best
And I think-
explanations about fame.
And if
Right. I
you-
think that is one of the top 5 JayZ songs.
And
for
if
me.
you gonna do something with Usher, you better catch him on the breakup.
Yo, dead ass.
You catch him on the
No,
breakup.
no.
That's when his
His
guys
breakup
best-
stuff have you in the house
What?
crying,
Seriously.
raincoat on.
That shit still gives me a heartache of
I
shit
tell
that
you one
happened
thing,
like
though,
10 years ago.
that
and
breakup
shit.
stuff, you said is the shit of platinum records. Is all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
You better
You
get
gotta
on a breakup
that's
track.
what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
You gotta catch Usher on the
gotta catch
breakup.
him when he
Sometimes you
depressed.
gotta
You
really
gotta
break up
catch-
with somebody.
You
to
gotta
catch that
catch
vibe.
Mary on the breakup.
That's
Well-
true. You gotta catch Mary. You know what I'm saying? Coming off of cocaine, off of a breakup.
But listen, don't go nowhere because you got to do our last segment with us. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, it's about time for that Bullets Bulletin.
Billy, huh? Time for bulletins, yo. So, couple things going on in New York. As always, Madam Bullet likes to talk about things that are free, low cost, things that you could do with your boo or with your
Yes.
family. You know what I'm saying? Because I know times is
Or
hard.
3 of your booze if you have them.
As long as you don't listen, there's not right 3 of your booze that you have them, and it's okay if you double book on the same day. Just make sure you don't get caught. Is all I'm saying.
Yes.
So one of the things that you could do with your boo, whether it's a little colder, the weather gets a little nicer, the laser rink, you hear me? I just sounded super Puerto Rican. The laser.
The
Lasker Rink in Central Park. It's around 110th Street, 110th Street in Central Park North. It's open 7 days a week. The admission is only $7.50. The skate rental, I think, is for seniors is $2.25.
Wow, I'm taking my grandma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Get it in, yo. The locker rental is only the locker rental and everything all together per person is about $14, and you can go unlimited for as many hours as you want.
Wow, that's
So
pretty dope.
Right, and it's $14 a person who can't get that up. People say they don't got $20 to do something. Listen, just smoke you a J, take you a couple shots, and get your ass on that ice.
And that's good for bitches that leave their kids at home.
And
to
not
go to
only
the
that,
club.
and let me tell you something too. And it's actually ice skating is like swimming. It is a complete total body workout. Like your abs will be crazy from trying to stand and hunker and try not to fall.
And balance.
So-
I'm not drinking and skating.
I am. Fuck it. I actually over the weekend I actually saw.
I only bowl and drink. That's cool.
Over the weekend I saw Deadpool. So,
don't tell me nothing.
I'm not gonna say it was, all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say was a good movie,
and it ain't for kids.
It absolutely is rated R. Don't see that shit. Don't see that. There's a website called GoFobo. It's GOFOBO.com, and you can get in on exclusive movie screenings, and you get to see the movie for free with a person before it comes out. So that's one of the few. Yeah, that's right. And then so you got another thing. I think the last thing going on in New York, notable mention, which is if you're going to do a little mini concert, a little more intimate setting, Future's going to be in the Hammerstein Ballroom on February 27th.
Yes.
So yeah, and the tickets are anywhere from $45 to $125, and there's going to be a lot of I think. Ty Dolla $ign is gonna open. Ooh. Yeah, so it's gonna be a cool little event. Again, something still very low cost, something that you could do in New York, something that you could bring a couple people with.
I gotta definitely get bail money because I already know my homegirls gonna try to jump at them niggas.
As always, you can hit me up at madam_bullet or at the hollahour@gmail if you have any suggestions for bulletins. Again, anything free or low cost that you could do with your booze or your friends and family, man. And now it is time. Because now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. So how it works?
You already know it's about time for that make you want to holler. And the way this works, Justin, the way this works is that it's
you going to have to get initiated, nigga.
One thing that makes you want to holler, and because you're on the mic, you got to do it too. All right. So it's one thing that makes you want to holler. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be a pet peeve, it could be something you saw today, yesterday, anything. Right, it just makes you want to holler. So I set it off last week, and I just and don't.
No, you
yes,
did
I did
not.
because I actually just looked at the video, and I did set it off. So therefore, madam, so your turn, baby.
I actually had my make you want to holler like 2 weeks in advance, and I was so excited. Totally fucking forgot.
That's not our
blaze that doobie before I came here. Totally fucking forgot. But I do got a random fun, and so this is something that always makes me want to holler. Bitches getting their body done just to fucking serve bottles. That shit makes me want to holler.
Me too, but I like that shit.
Like you taking a $2,000 trip to DR. You spending $6,000 on your body just to come back to serve bottles.
Fuck it, I'll tip you.
Like
serve
get the fuck out. No, fuck that. Look at you. Don't be with your fucking fake skinny ass wasted. You know what I'm saying? Your fucking hips don't even look right. Your hips your hips are high on your fucking navel and shit, man. You know what?
Looking like it's running from you, I like that.
Nah, man, fuck that, yo. I hate bitches that get their body done just to fucking serve a nigga a bottle, man. You know what? Do what my parents do. Get a job, sir.
That's crazy.
That's what makes me want to holler, yo. That's why I'm like the fucking angry rapper of this shit.
You passionate about that, ain't
wow, that was like super.
Who goes next?
Anyone, go ahead, Justin. You go next. Fuck it, go ahead. You right next
Let's
to me.
hear Justin.
Passing it on the left.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm definitely ready.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's the only thing that does make me want to holler. The one thing that makes me want to holler is the disrespect to homeless people.
Yeah.
It really kind of bothers me a little bit because I feel like a lot of people they think that's easy, and I'm pretty sure it's not, number one. And number two, I feel like people are they kind of assume a lot about people when you don't really know their story. So, and that can happen to anyone. You see a lot of people on the streets and whatever. So, and I feel like it's not enough attention on it. So, if that's one thing I gotta pick, it'll probably be that. Like,
you know what's funny though? Yesterday, so a homegirl made me some food, and
a homegirl. You sure it was a homegirl?
Yeah, it was a homegirl.
You don't even want to listen. We don't got another half an hour for that.
I know when the food comes into play.
Justin, we don't even got another half an hour for that, man. We got 2 minutes left.
It was a homegirl, but no, a homegirl of mine made me some food, and early on my block, it's by the Salvation Army. But this is gonna be my make me wanna holler. So the dude, I seen somebody sleeping by the Salvation Army, the big Salvation Army in Harlem, right? And I seen him there earlier. So when I got the food from my homegirl, I went back over there, right, to see if he was still there. I was gonna give him the plate of food. And you know what makes me want to holler? He wasn't there. Wow. I'm tight because and I parked on one end of the earth, and I'm like, and then to get to him, I had to pass my door. I'm like, you know what?
Terrible.
I'm like, I'm gonna walk up here and see if he up here anywhere and give him this food.
It's the thought that counts.
The
so like
point
they
is
say.
right. You try to do the right
you
thing.
meant
Yeah.
to do
You got
good.
so,
You meant
you
to
got
do
so.
Yeah, no, bro, you fucked up. You didn't see that nigga. Just kidding.
I'm like, damn.
And now y'all see why we bother.
I thought you was gonna say he threw that
Now
shit
y'all
back
see
in your
it.
face too. I thought you was gonna be like, I didn't
Nah.
want this shit.
Oh,
Nigga, I'm
nah.
begging for money, not food.
Nah, he ain't do that though.
Damn, we gotta get out of here. I'm sad.
Murder, real quick.
What makes me want to holla is I gotta say it. I love spring because of all the different outfits. Well, I like fall too, but because of all the different outfits, you know what I mean, that you could wear. And I must say, like, I'm liking the little spring colors that are coming out because I like pink a lot. But I've been seeing a lot of earth tones that have been coming out. And I gotta say, like, some of these bitches been dressing real well. They ain't dressing with their ass out. I like that shit.
Okay.
You know, it's real stylish. Like,
that's
you
a
know,
positive one.
bitch, yeah, I like
that.
I like the fact that, you know, women, instead of showing your vagina to everybody in New York, that y'all actually wearing shit that looks good on y'all and don't make y'all look like y'all over here trying to sell pussy at 7-Eleven for some fucking beer.
Facts.
Like, I don't know.
Okay.
I like that. When a woman looks good, you feel me? I'll give it up to you. But if you look like shit just to impress a nigga that don't got shit to do with nothing, can't even pay his mom fucking rent, then you got shit all fucked up in the game. Get it together.
Okay. And last, real quick, what makes you wanna holler?
What makes me want to holler? All right, so Monday, this is a true story. Monday I was at work. I work in a furniture store. So there's this guy. He comes with his moms, and he's telling his moms like, you know, like, you should get me this, and it was like $500 or something like that. He was telling her.
Oh, he
and
disrespectful.
He was just telling her like, you should get me this, like, you got the income tax money, and it's like, to me, I feel like
Oh, hell
that shit is crazy to me. Like, you could watch your mother work 300 days and take her income tax money from her. People should really think about shit like that. Like, give your mother money before you take it from her. You understand?
All I gotta say,
Hell no, mom. You better give me money, my nigga.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta go. We
Before we
gotta
get out of
go.
here, all I gotta say is you kind of sort of stole my holla. But, you know, income tax. We'll talk about it next week, man.
Yo, we gotta get up out of here, man.
Yes,
The Holla Hour with
definitely.
DTF Radio, man. Make sure you stay tuned in. We want to thank our special guest for coming through.
Justin Nova.
You already
Much
know.
love, much love,
Make
much
sure you
love.
stay
Superstar.
tuned in. The Penthouse Suite is up next. The lovely ladies, Jessie Ray, Lilo in the building, DJ Executive on the 1 and 2s,
Like
man.
the
We
bullet,
out
shout
of
out
here,
to Ty
man.
Flows,
Yell
man,
at
free
us.
Dama.
Yes, and definitely check into Avenue NY to check out the upcoming events for Justin Nova, and, you know, definitely listen out to
The Holla Hour, everything, man.
yes.
Yell at me.
Broadcasting 24/7. You know that is 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. 366 if it's a leap year. TTFradio.com. We never stop.
I was so hard-headed at first. My grandma didn't even believe in me.